Hi, and welcome to the Path to Pleasure. Today, you'll be speaking with myself, Tanya, and
I'm Blaize.
so let's get into it. I am dying to know, like last time we were talking, you were saying that you're a fetish model.
Yes.
Okay, so can we talk about your first paying gig?
My first paying gig after my foot party came from the foot party. I actually met him there. So I was briefly acquainted with him. And I didn't have an agent or anything at the time. I was just free flowing and stumbling through. And so I think it was probably 2 weeks after my foot party. We scheduled it, so let's say June of 2022. And we went and met at the Hilton, I believe, at the Domain. And then we went shoe shopping and bought two pairs of shoes that he picked out. And I wanted to keep them, of course, but
Wait, you didn't keep them?
no, and I should have come to find out. Like, mind you, I had no idea what I was doing. This was my very first time. I was by myself. I was just thinking, hey, you know what? This guy was really nice. He came with good references. And so I did make sure to do my due diligence in that regard. But I probably shouldn't have even done any of the shoots to begin with, truthfully, because I shouldn't have went there and then I drove in his vehicle with him. So we went to go purchase two pairs of shoes and went to DSW shoes. I did not keep the shoes. More on that later. And we went back to the hotel. I was wearing just a tank top and then a long maxi skirt, and the shoes that he had bought kind of went with that, and they were just like platformed. They needed to be very big because it was for a photo shoot that he was going to do for Crushing. I put on the shoes and he laid out different things that I could step on because it was for a Crushing video, and it was various items that he just laid out in a different pattern, and I was supposed to walk like they were not there, pretend that they weren't there, and just walk regular and not to stumble, like you couldn't stumble. So it seemed very odd to me at the time, and now I don't think anything is odd. I mean, I didn't before, and it wasn't that that was odd to me, it was just odd that someone was going to pay me to do that. That's what I found so odd because I didn't know that world.
So, how long did this last?
5 hours.
Oh, wow.
It
That's a
was
long
5 hours,
time.
yeah. It was a very long time. Actually, no. It was that was the shooting. That wasn't even including the shoe shopping and getting everything else ready. Like, it was I got there at 5 o'clock and did not leave there until 11:30, I believe, somewhere around there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So about 6.5, probably 7 hours
Mhm.
altogether.
Yes.
So it was an 8-hour day from the time you left your house until you were
Yes.
finished.
And it was only supposed to originally, whenever he paid me, because I have to pay up front, originally it was for 2 hours. Yeah. And so I understood he wanted to get the shot. And so I stayed and I stayed. And I was like, well, I really want to create this vision. It was my first paying gig. I was super excited about it. And like I said, I had no idea what I was doing. And this, I don't know if this guy knew what he was doing, but he got a lot more than what he should have.
Like, what do you mean by a lot more? A lot more of your time?
Yes,
A lot
a lot
more
more of my time.
content?
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. I should have kept the shoes. Like that should have been
Yes.
like because then he just wore shoes or I just wore shoes and he got those for free. Well, I mean, he paid for the shoes, I guess, but so I did that and then just the excessive amount of time whenever it was supposed to be 2 hours, maximum of 4. And he even it was even in the email. And so once it went past 4, I was like, well, maybe we can just try and wrap it up because he was like, oh no, it won't be that long. It won't be that long. So, and it just kept going. And he took advantage of
You were
me
naive, you were new, you
very
didn't
much.
know.
So,
He bought you shoes, but he took them, and then now, knowing what you know, you should have taken the shoes and you could have sold the shoes
right,
because you wore them in the photo shoot,
right,
or just the simple fact that you wore them.
right. And I'm sure that he's kept them for himself. Obviously, he has a fetish, or he sold them. I don't know.
So you got paid for this?
I did.
What approximately, you don't have to tell us, but if you don't
I
mind, what did you
can't
get
even
paid?
remember. I need to look it up because, like I said, all of this is in the email. And I want to say it was $500. And like I said, that was supposed to be for 2 hours.
Yeah. So where was this located?
Austin. He
In
came to
Austin.
Austin and because he was from out of town and rented the Hilton. And then we shot there. And then we went to the parking lot. There was a very well lit parking lot across the way. And then we shot some different scenes there.
I like that you said well lit.
Yes, I made sure, like, I was careful. There's a lot of things that I should have checked first. Like, now I have an agent. Thank you, Phoenix Stacy.
She's amazing.
And she does all of that stuff for me, so I don't have to worry about any of my security. She checks all of that. Everything's filled out beforehand. So I was very naive and unskilled and lucky.
So were there any fetish items used in this shoot? Like traditional fetish items?
I don't really know, actually. I mean, I think anything can be a fetish that I'm learning. So not anything that sticks out.
I suppose the fetish item in this situation would be the items that you crushed, the
Possibly.
shoes.
I know, yeah, and the feet, like, the way that your feet look in heels, people
Yeah.
like to see that, so,
Yeah.
mm, when we were outside, we crushed or I did, chicken nuggets and
Nice.
french fries,
Nice.
sauce packets,
I
like
know
the
some
ch
people that would hurt to see that.
I know, it did me too, and I was like, "Man," I was trying to be professional because it was my first gig, but I thought, "Man, I wanna eat some of those chicken nuggets so bad."
I'll eat a nuggie, thank you.
Yes. So, and now I'm like, give me those nuggets. Like, I will eat those
Mhm.
and the fries. And they just went to waste. Wah, wah.
Oh, stole your time, and he stole your fries. That's just
Yes. Well, they were
the
his fries,
worst.
I guess.
So, like, being in a situation, doing your first shoot and wasting good nugs, how did this feel? Like, how was this first experience? How did you feel about it?
It didn't even feel real
It was
because
surreal.
I didn't even, that nothing. Well, and I should add that when it was filmed, it was from the knees down. They saw nothing up. It had nothing to do with anything but my feet and the shoes and what we were crushing.
Kinda perfect.
So, yeah, and it's like, man, I didn't even have to get ready. I didn't have to fix my hair. I didn't have to look nice. What?
Was there any other experiences that are memorable from this interaction, from this first photo shoot? Like, did you learn something? Did you try something new?
I always learn something. Always, always learn. I did. Ooh, he introduced me to good tequila.
Nice.
I'm not a drinker, but he had some, and I thought, let me see, because it makes you loosen up, right? And I
You
was
relax,
nervous, and so I
yeah.
was like, you know what? Because he assured me, oh no, this is different. So I drank a little bit of it, and I'll be dang, it was so freaking good.
So, did you also did you do any crushing items inside besides the first, the introductory crushing, or was that what did you crush? What did you crush inside?
So he laid out different items, plastic champagne flutes, a
Okay.
lot of like Dollar Tree items. They were little toy cars, anything that was plastic, little hollow things that whenever you step down on them, it would
Punch.
and yeah, crunch, make that noise. So there were different kind of straws that he had, balloons, blew up some balloons and stepped on
Mm.
those.
Oh,
And can't really remember anything else.
that
Just a
sounds
bunch of
like fun, and it sounds
plastic.
like he was cost conscious too.
It was, yes. And he had so many little different things, little different poppers that you'd step on and just explode. Like, yeah. He had put in a lot of thought into this. So, and was very careful with and be like, okay, I have 3 minutes that I just filmed for there, like for each thing that he would put down. Like,
So he already knows the content. He knows what sells. He knows what people are looking for, the fetishes, how to get what people are looking for. And he was really cost conscious because not only did he bring dollar store items, but he also kind of took some time from you for free.
yes.
So you learned a lesson.
Yeah, I did.
Eat those damn nuggets.
Yeah.
Give me those
Yes.
french fries. I want the ketchup too, bastard.
I love it. That's perfect. That is a great message to come back to, folks.
Just eat the nuggets.
Yeah, I did learn a lot of things. I learned a lot about my time. It is more valuable than what I realized. And just little things along the way. And it's like, you know what? That's not something I learned. So working with him again because he wanted to film with me again. And duh. And
Of course.
yeah, like, of course, you give someone almost 7 hours of your time for that and all of these other things, then of course they want to shoot with you. So and again, I was still on my own at this time. I didn't have an agent. So I messaged him back and I said, well, if just so that we're clear and there are no misunderstandings, because you know me, I like everything right laid out. And
Exactly.
I said, is just so we're both clear, there's no misunderstandings. If it goes over a certain amount of time, it will be billed per hour. So if in any shoe shopping, etc. And I didn't even say anything about keeping the shoes at this time because I wasn't thinking that. But I did let him know about my time. So he did not agree with that and said did not agree with that price. And I said, I don't know what else to tell you. And then in the middle of that, as we were going back and forth, that's whenever I had linked up with Phoenix Stacy and she started scheduling for me. So I just advised him, go ahead and reach out to her should you have any further questions and we'll go from there. I did not hear from him.
Good. I mean, that's smart. And I know she's no BS.
Yes.
She is
Oh, she
the
would have
kindest.
shut it down before it even started.
Yes.
And now, moving forward, I will shut it down. I did not know I was good at business until I started this, and I am fucking amazing at business.
You are fucking
And
amazing.
that being able to say that makes me feel phenomenal.
Great. Good. So I'm taking from this that you became more empowered
Yes.
and your self-esteem, if you've learned nothing else, it's that you are valuable,
Hmm.
you are intelligent, you can make things happen on your own. You don't need some dollar store guy making you crush things and
Dollar
not giving
store
you
guy.
nuggies.
Yes, and I've learned, I've met some great producers, great models, people, so many great people in this industry that I have had so few negative experiences. And I don't even really view it as a negative because I learned a lot from that. And I wasn't upset at anything. I was more that whenever I was emailing him that second time around and stating these things, I was more timid, like, well, and almost took it, almost backed down because I was like, well, I really want the money and I really had a good time and all this stuff. So I almost backed out and did it for what he was suggesting and offering. That's a better word to say, I guess. What he was offering. And I thought, nope, I can't do that. Like,
It's good
so
that you declined his proposal because it was definitely beneath you.
yeah.
And now you know, but it was a learning experience and we have to have those learning
Yeah.
experiences.
Yes. And I took that from for exactly what it was, a learning experience, and I'll put that in my book for the rest of this story as part of our journey, as you say.
Excellent, because we all have a journey and
Yeah.
that's smart. That's the best you can do. You
Yes.
learned from that and now you manage your business better.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, have you ever had a gig or a photo shoot where someone paid you your way, your fee to do a photo shoot in a remote destination or someone that is somewhere that is not home?
I had my first location shoot, the Fly Me to You shoot, in September of 2022. And it was at Joey's Feet Girls up in Chicago. He flew me up there with my agent, Stacy, which she got me that job. And it was her birthday. So we went up there for 5 days, I believe. And we shot some scenes for her birthday, like a birthday balloon scene. And I learned about latex balloon fetish. And I got to meet some other fetish models, Tickle Toes or Tickle Soul and Giantis Cleo. And she had a PA named Mike. And all of those guys were amazing. And then they had a friend, I can't think of her name, but I'm going to put all of their names below because everyone should follow them because they're amazing. And I shot 3 different videos with Joey, just with myself. And those are for sale. Check out the links below. We will have those down there somewhere. And then I shot with Stacy and the other 2 that I mentioned, the Tickle Souls and Giantis Cleo. And we had, I'm trying to think of anything else exciting that we did whenever I was there. Uh,
So, have you had more shoots? Like, do you have local shoots? Is this something you do often? Have you had many shoots where you are taken to a remote destination, travel, would you call it? Travel,
Fly Me to You.
fly me to you. So, is that a common thing or do you do a lot of local events?
I'm more local at this time, but that's because I'm trying to do something with business, different business adventure. So I haven't traveled a whole lot. I've gone to a couple locations. I went to Vegas for the first time, and that was exciting. And where else? Dallas, Houston. I'm getting ready to go to Florida. So we kind of go all over, but it's mainly I session in-house. I have a studio, and so in person, I guess, not in-house. And then my sites that I have my clips up for sale.
So, what upcoming events do you have? Are you traveling anywhere? Are there any parties, events?
This Saturday, which is the 20th of May, 2023, is one of our foot parties, and it's going to be up in Dallas. So I can't really plug that because this is going to come out too late, but we'll have another one
That's okay. We'll talk
in
about
a
the
few months,
experience.
right? So, and then I'll get to do several different shoots up there. So I'm very excited about that.
So, let's talk about the shoots. So, it's feet and it's a foot fetish. I understand that it's foot worship and they have their niche, like stepping on items, the gigantor, you know, the crushing,
Mhm.
the, like, I guess, foot adoration. Does anybody ask you to be naked or do anything more? Or is this strictly feet? They're very respectful. Tell me about your experience because I have no idea.
You get asked all kinds of things, usually by online people, which I don't deal with anybody online. That goes straight to my agent. So don't, I don't do anything with DMs. So I miss a lot of the crazy stuff. I will do things topless.
What do
It's,
you do topless?
I will stand there topless.
Do you crush
um,
things with your gigantors?
with my gigantor. No, I would. I mean,
Should. You
yeah,
should.
I would.
You should totally
Book
crush those
me.
nuggets.
I would. Nugget crusher. I would. Truthfully, I'm one of those people that I think, I mean, I have my morals and all of that, but anything, there's a price tag on anything.
Almost. Almost.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you don't want to do something, okay, it is $12 billion. There's a price tag on everything. Like, that's just my opinion, I guess.
So
So,
let's go back to, like, you are stunning. You have a great personality and you are blessed. You have a very beautiful chest. Like, if somebody asks you, can you do something extra and be topless or, just more doing something with your upper half, does that
oh,
cost extra?
oh, heck yes. Heck yes.
So it's just not like lumped in there with the nuggies.
Oh,
What is it?
no. No, no,
I
no,
think
no.
I'm hungry. I want those nuggets.
Ooh, me too. I'm with you. Yes, of course. Being topless is extra.
How much extra? A lot, a little?
I don't even know.
I have a couple dollars.
I would.
Just kidding. I
um,
don't. I'm broke.
I I don't even know my prices, truthfully.
This all goes through your agent.
Yeah. I should know better than
You
that.
will.
Yeah.
It sounds like your relationship is still really new, and I have met her. I don't work with her in the same way that you do, but I have met her and becoming friends with her, and she is absolutely amazing. And I know she definitely looks out for
Oh,
you.
she handles it. I
Yeah.
don't have to. I only have people in my life
Yes.
that I trust.
Yes.
And it's that way because I'm very transparent all the time. You just I need to be able to say what I want to say. I need to be able to trust you.
Exactly.
She does everything. I trust what she does. She does not steer me wrong. If I disagree with something, I speak up and I tell her.
Good.
We discuss it like adults. She is my friend. She is also my agent. And if that doesn't work for other people, that's
Yeah.
fine. But that works great for us. And she knocks it out of the park every time.
Okay, so knowing that she is also a Texas native, and on occasion you guys hang out in the Austin area, Dallas area, various towns in Texas. What are some of the most unique places that you have actually shot content? We'll start with Austin.
Ooh, I didn't prepare for that question at all. Um,
So there's some beautiful places in downtown Austin. One of them, which I have not had a chance to go yet, and I heard that you ladies were there this morning or were going to be there having coffee. And I really wanted to go,
we
but
didn't even get to go.
yeah, that sounded like
Not
a lot of
yet.
fun. I just like hit her up because I have a business. I work from home and I get really busy, and sometimes it's a little maddening being alone all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, my business partner is awesome. He makes me laugh.
Yeah,
He's fun. But there are some days he's doing his work and I have my work, and given the opportunity to get out, like, yes, I want to get out.
oh yeah, and it's always more fun whenever you're doing it with other people.
Oh my goodness. And you girls are like so much fun to be around. So
I love we've got something going on there, like the what we're doing in Austin. I forget what it's even called. I'm not very good at
we need
plugging
to work
things.
on that.
um, but it'll come to me.
Maybe, hopefully. So I want to try to start like just hanging out with you guys and seeing more of what you do because I'm fascinated by it. And you both have the best personalities. And I think most people strive to have a stress free life and be happy. And it
hmm
appears that both of you have accomplished that.
hmm
And for me, like you were saying, you only allow certain people in your life that are good for you. I don't allow naysayers or negative people,
Yes.
and I don't judge. And if I have somebody in my life who does judge, we either talk about it and they correct themselves quickly, or I move on
Yeah.
because I have a limited amount of time and I'm going to spend time with those who
Yep.
understand me and support me as well as my friends. And I have to say, I haven't known you or Stacy long at all yet, but I definitely enjoy spending time with you.
Huh?
And I look forward to, stalking in a friendly way some of your, photo shoots.
Oh,
And yeah,
yes, please do stalk away.
I think it'll be fun. And then I'll also like ask you to participate in some things that I'm doing. Of course, I'm more on the nerdy side,
Mhm.
but the both of you understand what I do, and what you don't understand, you ask. And it's
No.
fun. It's fun to talk to people who are genuinely interested in what you're doing. And that's why today I wanted to speak more about what you do and how it all works and how you feel about it, how you get paid. It may sound scandalous to some people, but really what you do is very PG. It's very PG. Sorry to those of you
I
who are
never
naughty with it, but it's PG.
I never would have imagined any of this. And I remember whenever it was first brought to me, I assumed all of it was dirty. Don't get me wrong, I do dirty things. Like you can clearly see that when you follow me, like I like doing all kinds of things, but it's that's not really what the fetish world is all about. That's just I and branching off and making it into dirty, right? So I
Yeah.
don't want people to correlate the two because fetish modeling is completely different from, you know, other things that I do. Yeah, I don't even know how to say that
Well, okay, so
appropriately.
you have your life being a fetish model.
Yes.
I know quite a few fetish models in different areas. When I was very young and very naive, I've always been a workhorse and I'm my own queen bee. I'm not trying to be somebody else's queen bee, but I want to make things happen for myself. I've never really been like the model type, the fetish model type, but my cousin is gorgeous long legs. And I swear everywhere we went, men were just trying to give her diamonds or money. And she would just laugh at them because really all she wants is buy her a good meal and make her laugh and be her friend.
Right.
But, people just throw things at her. And I remember her telling me that she had met a photographer and he wanted to, it was basically Shibari. It was Shibari. And are you familiar with Shibari?
Yes.
Okay. So it's Shibari. And those of you that are not in the know, Shibari is the art of rope. And so it's like different ways to do like
It's
body harnesses.
bondage.
Yeah, it's bondage and it's body harnesses or, you know, different aspects of binding your body in a very creative, beautiful way. But also you can like bind somebody, tie them up. It's very safe. Like it's a definite like you have to learn the art form.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with it. I've seen it. It's beautiful.
So one day we will do a body harness on you. So I know a little bit of Shibari
Oh,
because
okay.
in my past life, I worked for the number one BDSM company in the world. I had to take a class with a pro dom. Sounds crazy, but it was actually very enlightening. It was very intelligent, very precise. And I realized you have to be very precise. It's an art.
Mm-hmm.
And you're taking someone else's trust and life into your hands. And she taught me just how to do a few tricks, and it was fun and amazing.
I have some friends that do it. I've never really gotten into it just yet. So, but yes, show us your skills.
I will. I will.
You dressed up in leather. We have leather boots on.
If you would like.
Yes. Yes, I would. I believe everyone else would. They're raising their hands in the back. I see them go up.
I actually have a friend who is a pro dom, and I'm hoping one
I
day
was
that
just gonna touch on that and ask you, like, so this class that you took, how long was this class?
the class was very short and she went over the basics. So everybody has this idea of who a pro dom is and what she should look like. But in all honesty, it was the woman dropping off her kids at school and then going grocery shopping. It's this very, I'm sorry to say it, but she was very matronly, but she had a power about her. But being around her, she seemed very quiet and subdued. And that, if you're like trying
They're
to
just
figure
regular
out,
people.
yeah, and if you're trying to figure out where she is in the fetish community, you may say she's a sub meaning submissive, but knowing her and seeing her in this light, very much a dominatrix and very much in control. Very nice and quiet, but I realize you don't have to be loud and forceful to
Oh no.
be a dom.
Mm-mm.
And she just walked me through and just taught me basics on this is this and this is this and here's why we do it. And I really feel like it shouldn't be so much taboo and this should be a class that's taught and easily to obtain, like somewhere where you can sign up and say, yes, I want to be a part of this. And I know in Texas it's few and far between. In other states you see a little more of this, but just the whole world of BDSM, there's so many facets and so many fetishes that there's so many, you would never know them all just right away. There's so much studying to do,
Oh, yeah.
so much
I
learning.
have immersed myself. I've only been a fetish model for a year. However, I have been immersed in the lifestyle for 8 years since I was 37.
But
So,
how
and
did
I'm
you
45 now.
so how were you introduced into the lifestyle community?
I became friends with a guy who knew about it, and I knew he was bad news, but he was so pretty. Like, I just thought he was so beautiful. And I lusted after him, and I'd never lusted after anybody before. Like, and so he pursued me for about a year and a half, and I didn't even like sex before this. Like, I wasn't a fan. I was a goody goody, and I knew that he was after one thing. Like, those boys, you're supposed to stay away from those. Your mama told you. And whenever I was younger, I was around those boys, so I knew that. So anyway, he pursued me for about a year and a half, and I finally gave in, I guess. I softened and realized that I really liked sex. I enjoyed sex. I liked being dirty. I liked being taboo. Like, once I realized that I like sex, I thought, man, I like doing all of these dirty things and feeling like a bad girl because I was such a good girl. Like, I wanted to be so bad. And so it worked perfectly. And the dirtier that and I say dirty because I was so freaking vanilla, but like dirty just being like dirty talk or
Something other than missionary.
yes, like anything that wasn't just pump, pump. Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did. And I wanted to explore more about that. And so I started going, like, he had told me about threesomes and the lifestyle and meeting people, that had sex, and orgies, and like, oh my goodness, like, what is this world that I don't know anything about? And I started researching it and thinking, well, this seems like a lot of fun, and what could go wrong? So I made an account I forgot I remember Kick. I had an account on Kick, and I made an account somewhere else, and we both had accounts, and we made like a group Kick chat with this woman that we had started talking to. And then he went to go meet her, and I was at work, and he went to meet her, and I was very uncomfortable with everything at the time. Like, I've never been a jealous person, but I never thought I would ever in a million years be able to share someone that I liked or was with. Like, you didn't do that. And so he went out to meet her because I couldn't, and he was texting me, and he was like, "Man, she wants to give me a blowjob." And we had already discussed these rules. I'm like, "What is going on? Like, no, we already discussed it." He's like, "Well, she's asking, like," and so he was kind of trying to persuade me without trying to persuade me. Like, he really wanted to really bad, but he was like, "Oh man."
I'm
So
sure it was his idea, but he was like, "Oh, she really wants to give me
well, and
one."
it at this time, I didn't realize that he had ever lied to me. I trusted him, and if he said that, this is what happened, then I believed him. I had no reason otherwise. at this time. And so he said nothing happened, and I just kind of that left a bad taste in my mouth for that. So it kind of dropped off for that. And we started having issues because we weren't even really together, but we had this kind of interesting relationship where it was a sexual relationship, but I did care for him. Like I cared for him a lot, and I know that he cared for me. So anyway, from there, I made an account on Swing Lifestyle, and the rest is history. For that, I have gone to kink parties, fetish parties, swinger parties, all kinds.
So what's your favorite lifestyle fetish combination? What attracts you the most?
To me, lifestyle encompasses all of it: the kink community, BDSM, swinging, fetish. Because if you're lifestyle and you want to be lifestyle and you accept all of those encompassed in the lifestyle, to me, you're part of the lifestyle. And so I don't know that I have a favorite. I like different aspects of each of them. And I also like that I have been very blessed in order to meet different groups of people. And again, making my own little group of different people that I love different things about. So I just
Great.
make everything into my own little world.
So definitely you and I are the type of people that the general public sees one side of us and they may have their assumptions, but they
Yes.
don't really know. So for you, you're so kind and sweet and easy to get along with. Are you a sub or a dom?
I'm a switch. I used to think I was a sub because I like being very submissive in the bedroom with the right person, but I will also fuck you up if
Nice.
that's what I want to do. So it
Nice.
kind of all depends on what I feel like. Everything that I do that brings joy to me. So if I don't like doing it, if I don't want to do it, I don't do it.
As it
So
should be.
yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, no, if I think I'm gonna like this, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, let's go. And then if it's I have a rule, I'll try anything 3 times. So if it's something that I think, you know what, this is let's go and we'll try this and go from there.
Do you ever go to any, let's say, lifestyle or fetish resort
Yes.
only in Texas or outside of Texas?
I've gone to some in Texas, and I've gone to one in Florida.
Which one?
I don't know that I want to say because I don't have the greatest reviews on it. So I don't want to put that negative out there
Does
only
it
because I wasn't in the right frame of mind.
okay.
So I don't know that it was a it wasn't a bad place to go. I just was not in the frame of mind that I should have been in when I was there.
So it's not necessarily a bad place, but you don't want to talk about it because you didn't have a good experience.
Well, and I'll talk about it. I just didn't want to say the name of the place because I wouldn't give a fair review.
I've never been, but I know there's a very popular resort there,
Several.
one specifically that is more popular than all the others, and it's massive. I've never been. So I personally have been to quite a few places, lifestyle resorts, fetish resorts, fetish like dungeons, but it's
What's your
primarily
favorite?
well, it's work for me, different kind of work. So for you, you're there, you're working, it's more interactive. For me, it's work. I'm going selling them products like,
You're
oh,
the yeah.
yeah. Oh, you need a flogger? Do you want a calf skin flogger? Do you want,
Which that's
nipple
fun in of
clamps?
itself.
It is fun. It's interesting because it's like I'm rarely there when anyone else is there. So I will see these places, and it doesn't sound exciting because a lot of people are going there to see the action and what's happening. But to be there and see what's behind the scenes and
Mhm.
what everything really looks like, you
Oh,
get
yeah.
a close up look at like a wheel, like let's say it's a life size wheel and someone is strapped to it and they spin the wheel. I've never seen anybody on the wheel, but I can imagine what it's like.
Yeah.
I've seen, life size canary cages made of gold.
Mm.
I went to one brand new dungeon because, again, I told you I work for the, top rated BDSM company. The man that we'll talk about it another time, but the man that started that company dated a very famous adult star who was much older than him. And that's where he learned about the fetish community and the lifestyle. And he would make these products in his dorm room. So that's a whole nother story. But I worked for that company. So it was like a privilege to have me come out representing this company, trying to sell them products for their dungeons or for their, facilities. And I think one of the most fun was going with a friend of mine. I usually always bring a friend of mine unless it was somebody I really, really know. And then I would travel, like go see them and we'd meet up and we'd have a meeting in the office and they'd show me. And it's like in that world, like when you're selling them products, it's like, this is this, this is this. And so this one was new. I didn't know the people that owned it. It was a husband and wife that owned it. And it was a brand new dungeon and it was located in Las Vegas. I looked it up. I don't believe it's in existence any longer, but I went to a center, took a friend of mine. She and I walked in there and we see all these brand new things and it's like room to room and you have a worship room where they have like looks like Egyptian like the throne. And so someone sits on the throne, other people worship. They had a waterboarding room. They had the large, like the life size, the canary cage made of gold for people to get in there. So of course I had to get in there. I'm like, what is this? What is this? I nobody's there. So
Oh,
it's all very
you
safe.
would be awful in a cage. You would be
Oh,
awful.
that would be horrible. I would be like, oh, you didn't think I could fit through? Look at
Oh my
this.
god.
And so it was like, I saw these cool things, and I think the most memorable was they had this specifically made for them. It was in the shape of a human body, and you get down on all fours and you get into this like it's a cage, but it is made exactly like your body. So you have to get in like this and put your head through, and like you just like duck down and you are in this, and then you're locked in. Of course, I didn't get locked in. I barely had the courage to get down there and
Yeah. Oh, I've seen some of those contraptions. Man. And I can't even imagine coming up with some of them.
I
We're
know.
putting a dungeon room in our house, and it's like
Nice.
putting all of these things in there and coming up with them. It's like, this is fantastic.
Oh, I have connections for you.
Ooh, yes. Yes.
There's so many things that you wouldn't think about, and it's so many things I never would have thought about. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of some of the other interesting rooms. Oh, of course, they have the stockades. So they have the stockades where somebody is like strapped in and their head and their arms are through.
Mhm.
And most of it is you're locked in. And then I know recently, so you said you were in Vegas and you went to the trade show. So I was
Yes.
there, but I was there for work. So I didn't really get to hang out with you because I'm
Yes.
walking around talking to customers.
Yes.
And a lot of that is a lot of the shows that I go to we're selling products for like Adam and Eve and just like every normal boutique and store that couples will go to. So it's anything from like lotions to lubricants. And a lot of these things, I don't think that middle America will admit they're needed, they're necessary. Everybody uses it. We all have something we're going through or we need. And these stores actually provide. what you need, and you can go in and speak to a trained professional. But at this trade show, when I saw you, I'm hopping around talking to people, but one of the places where we stopped, because I want to introduce you to my friends that have really intricate
Oh,
costumes.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's family owned for over 30 years, and they have the coolest costumes, but right across from it was a company called CB 3000. Is it 3000 or 6000? I think it's
I don't
3000. I think it's
remember.
CB 3000. Anyway, it's a cock cage. It's a cock cage where you put this on your partner, and one part goes over
It was
the
clear. I
penis.
remember that because it
They
was the
they're
neatest.
clear and pink and black, and camouflage is a newer one. And one part goes over the penis, the other goes like behind the balls, and
Yep.
then it comes together and you lock it. And now the locks are made of plastic, so you can like travel with it, and you can send your partner away and they can't have an erection if you're not around. And so people are like, why would you want to do that? Because evidently the satisfaction is once you have it taken off, then that first, you know, full like erection and orgasm after is just so intense. But it's amazing. It's amazing all the different products that are available.
Yes. I was blown away.
Did you like the trade show?
I loved it. I met, again, great people. You saw me cry 3 times, I believe. Was it 3?
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, because you were
Was a very
3 to
emotional
5.
experience
Yeah.
at the trade show.
Yeah, because you were just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this." It's
It was
like a whole
very
world.
overwhelming. I
Yeah.
just felt like I knew, and maybe that feeling of I just felt like I knew what I needed to do, maybe that came from maybe just being around you guys, and it's like maybe leading to this adventure.
Yeah, I had
So
my
maybe
business
that.
partner. Yeah, my business partner was with me, and he is very much is very kind and quiet and nice, and he's that friend that's always there for you, and
Yeah,
that's why I chose him to be my business partner, and also because he can handle his business. I do
right?
everything on my side. I do
Man.
my stuff. I do not touch his part of the business.
Yeah.
We both like specialize in what we do. So
Yeah. I see.
shout
I
out
am
to Chris.
thrilled. Yes. Shout out to Chris. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But he's that guy. Like I know he saw you there, and I'm very business. Like let's go, let's go, let's go. We saw you. I'm like, hi, kiss, kiss, love you. Got to go. Bye.
Yeah, and I
And
tried to attach onto them because I was at this trade show. I was just going for fun. A friend of mine asked me to go, so I went to Vegas with him to this trade show, and the altitude
yes.
show, and I the best time. It was so emotional there. I met so many great people. I didn't even go there for work. I just went there to support my friend. Like I adore him. I would do anything for him. And I thought, you know what? It'll make it more fun for him. And sure, give me a hat and a shirt and I'll promote the heck out of you. I went there, walked around. I had no idea what I was doing, met all these different people. And whenever I saw you guys, it was like, oh, thank God.
Everybody knows.
Yes, I enjoy them so much. I already adored them. So I thought this is perfect. So I wanted to latch on to you guys, but I knew that you were busy. You had a lot of things you had to go on. So I thought, okay, I'll suck onto you guys for a little bit, get some good energy, and then I'll go flutter about and go suck on someone else. That sounded
Well, I don't. Okay, so just so you know, she didn't actually
I didn't
suck on
suck on
anyone.
anybody at that time.
It was great
Oh,
seeing you too, though, because I get very business minded and very focused, and I don't break from that. So seeing you, it was a joy, and it lightened our spirits because we agreed to take a break, and I was like, "Hey, let's go take her over to meet our friends over here."
yeah.
And, like I said, they're a family owned company, very nice people. And I knew that they would adore you, but they were so busy. So
Yes. Oh, there were
still,
so many people there.
yeah, yeah, there was so many
And I
people.
made so many great contacts
Good.
that I can't wait to see them again so that I can
Yeah.
remember what card goes
I'll
with
tell you.
who.
I'll tell
Like
you.
I did meet so many great people, and I was supposed to reach out to them to do different product samplings, reviews, and my no one was with me because I wasn't working. So I didn't have anyone on my
I can help
team,
you.
and
There are a lot of really good people in this industry, a lot of really good companies, and most of them are looking for someone that can do a decent product review, who's a good personality, who will do what they say they're going to
yeah.
do and actually has a following.
Well, because I got to meet, I don't even really have a huge following at this time,
You
but
will,
the
though.
people that I got to meet and just listening to them and how they started their companies and or
Yes.
started their products and invented their products,
Yes.
and it was just the energy was surrounding that was just amazing to me. I don't even know how else to describe it.
No, it is. I mean, I've been in this industry for almost 30 years. And it's never boring. It's
Yeah.
exciting. The people are amazing. Very few people that get into our side of the business, the sales, the production, the manufacturing, they hardly leave. Like it's
I understand why. And I've noticed like the people as I was walking around with you guys knew so many people because they're all in the industry. Like everybody, whenever you have something good, you stay. Why not? Right?
yeah. And the people are good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people may say it's bad, but I was one of the first people that I changed companies and I did it fairly often. But I'm curious. I'm curious and I wanted to know everything about everything,
Yeah.
as well as I could not stay in California. My mother's handicapped, as we talked about in the last episode. My daughter was still in high school. I think at the time she was in junior high. So I had to move back to Texas. Everything I did was remote. So I was one of the first people, like during the pandemic, so many people began working from home. But for me, I had been doing it for 15 years
You had
before that or
already,
longer. Yeah. And
I
it's,
don't know how you do time management.
you get used to it. The problem, it's been difficult having relationships, like actual, like being in a relationship with somebody, not because I'm promiscuous or have to be out or I'm doing anything wrong, but it's because I'm typically a workaholic and
Yeah. Oh, I see that with you
I don't
all the time.
dedicate, yeah, I don't dedicate a lot of time. I dedicate time to my daughter, my mother, my father, my family, and it goes in that order.
Yeah.
And it dwindles off from there, but it's addicting for me, like to accomplish
Because it's
more.
fun.
It's fun.
And
The
whenever
people are
you're around
great.
the same, yeah, whenever you're around people, like minded individuals, and you're talking about creating something and moving forward and doing something that brings you joy
Yeah.
and being around other people and bringing them all in, it, it becomes addicting, intoxicating.
It's also like I don't really nerd out on a lot of celebrities. Like when I lived in LA, there were a few people that I would see and it was so obscure. I'm like, oh my God. And it's never anybody you would imagine. But being in this industry, knowing the history of who started it, where they came from, what they've accomplished. Yeah, there have been situations. I'm like, hi, hi, hi. So, and they
Yeah.
have no idea who I am. They've been in it for so long. But then, like, once I gained enough like of a good relationship with people and they recognized me. I was like, "Oh my god, I made it." And it doesn't sound like anything to most people, but I guess
No,
you'd have
I
to be
understand
there.
that. I understand that. I too, I don't get starstruck. I'm like, I don't care about celebrities. I don't care about that stuff. But whenever it's somebody that's important to you,
Yeah.
it's like they're your celebrity. Well, I do that too. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, the celebrities I've nerded out on, let's see. One of my friends lives in Bel Air and it's where she lives is totally normal. It's amazing, but it's totally normal and the shopping center, it's a shopping center where we go for this amazing sushi on occasion. Celebrities walk in and awkwardly stared at Paris Hilton's mother. Is her name Kathy Hilton? She is absolutely stunning in person. I could not stop staring. I was like, oh my God, stop looking. And the other one was Shannon Tweed. Shannon Tweed is absolutely gorgeous. Like, you cannot imagine that she is more beautiful in person than she is on TV.
I'm not one for my celebrity that I would geek out on would be Joe Dispenza.
Who's Joe Dispenza?
Exactly. Joe Dispenza is a motivational
Oh
speaker.
my goodness. I never would have guessed. Oh, wait, what?
Joe
Who?
Paul Stamets is a mushroom expert. I would be like, oh my God, do you know this? Tanya. That's who my exciting. So
That's funny. That's so funny. Let's go back to the fetish community. What what is your area of kink? What is your specific area that you personally, not work, that you're drawn to, that you like, that you enjoy?
that's a loaded question.
Top
All
10.
of them. Yeah, right. You would have to. There are so many. I don't know. I can't answer that right now. I would really have to prepare for that because there are so
If I
many
choked you, would it help?
different. Yeah, see, like all of these things. Because remember, I'm 45. I just discovered this at 37. So I'm tumbling slowly, right? And I'm coming from being so closed off, not liking sex, having birthday blowjobs or birthday sex or, anniversary. So this is completely new. So I treaded very lightly for quite some time. And then whenever I got with the perfect partner to explore with, then it was balls to the wall, do whatever you want and what. So,
That's cute.
but that was, I mean, that's kind of fairly new. So, because I was so not timid, just kind of like, oh, gosh, my pearls, you can't do that.
Now pearl necklace has a whole new meaning.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you what I will do with the pearl necklace.
So, moving forward, our plan is to have people from my side of the industry and then performers, etc., from
Mhm.
your side of the industry. And we have a couple of guests already lined up, and I'm so excited.
Me too.
But for you, like, is there anyone specific, any specific company, any area of interest, someone that you would really like to interview and ask their journey? How did you get to where you are?
I think there's a bunch of them. There's a lot of successful producers and models that I've met that I would love to interview. There's also some that I haven't met yet that we will interview. And I,
Can you give us a hint of one or two that you really like or any
uh,
area?
well, Stacy, my agent,
Yes.
for sure, because she's just so resourceful.
Yes, she is.
The first on location photo shoot with Joey, I would like to interview him.
We're making him bring nuggets.
Making him. He wasn't the nugget guy though.
Oh, damn it. All
Oh yeah,
right.
no. I'm not in contact with a nugget guy. I
And I'll
wasn't.
bring nuggets.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll hold her to that. Yes. And then some of them that have been doing it for a very long time. I think there's a lot of people that I've met through different people that I am excited about interviewing.
For me, I'm really hoping that a friend of mine in Dallas will be available. She is a very well known dominatrix, performer, burlesque. She's been in several music videos.
Ooh,
Yeah, and she is calm and down to earth and absolutely gorgeous.
I love burlesque. Did she teach it?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
She's too busy performing.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
But I'm hoping that
So she
we
still is in the industry.
oh, yeah.
Okay,
She's amazing,
perfect.
and I am excited to interview more people and just let everyone see that these are normal individuals. These are day-to-day people, a lot of them very calm and quiet and nice,
Mhm.
and I think there's gonna be a lot of surprises and a lot
I
of
think we need to
interesting
start asking
stories.
people what their goals are. I
Uh,
just thought of that
what are
because
your
I thought
goals since you brought it up?
end goals, man, I have lots of goals. I was just thinking of end goals. Like my end goal is to be abroad and having different areas where we can help other people. Like I'm not really for sure what all to put out there right now because I know I'm just trying to be selective about what I cover with that, but I want to have people around me that I trust and I care for and want to help other people get to where we are.
Yes. Yes.
So I know we're successful. I'm excited that we're successful and it's frustrating to be climbing that uphill by yourself or feeling like you're doing it by yourself. So
It is. It is. I want to ask you, do you make decisions on what you do with your career based on your partner? Or is everything just independent on what you feel and you want to do?
I he he would he would prefer I do everything independent.
Nice.
So everything's always my own choice, but I always factor things in mainly, but not because of his opinion or anything. It's more of what works best for me. And if I feel like I haven't had enough time around him, like I get, you know how some people need a Snickers whenever they get hangry, like I need my person.
Yeah.
And
I can
so
see that.
yeah, that's so, but I don't think, you know,
So then I have to say, for me, I've heard some really awkward, weird questions and preconceived notions from other people about what I do.
mhm,
Because even if I tried to explain in detail what I do, all they hear is I work in the sex industry.
yes,
So I must be a porn
yes,
star.
yes.
That must be that's got to be what I do. I must be a porn star. And they will
And the way that you
never,
look.
oh,
Yes,
thank you.
because I don't know. So I would make that assumption too. Prior me, like old me, 37 and before me would have made that. Oh my goodness, yeah.
I will say thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
And, it's been for them, for men and some women, when I moved away, like I had to move to California to further my career, almost 20 years ago. So many of my girlfriends too from the small town, many of them asked questions, but I had one that said, "So I heard you're doing porn." And immediately I said, "Why would you say that?
And I can
I
only
talk to
imagine with
you."
you.
Yeah, and I told her, I'm like, "I speak to you. I tell you everything that I
Uh-huh.
do." I said, "You knew what I did before I moved away. I simply moved away to further my career, working in an office, selling the same products that
Mhm.
you always buy from me." And then, men They just, always want to think that you're a porn star. But I usually try to handle everything
Well, and it's
graciously.
women too. Like it's really is everybody. Like a lot of people have different connotations that come with
Oh, and the
all of it.
women. Yeah, when I tell women what I do, they
Clutch
immediately,
their husbands or boyfriends
oh,
tighter.
no, no, no. Whenever I'm telling a woman, I work for a manufacturer and I sell adult products, or whenever I started my own business, I manufacture adult products and I do private label deals for people and I help them create their own line of products. They immediately ask me if we can schedule a home party.
Oh,
And
really?
it's so flattering and it's so nice. And I never say no because I always imagine they don't know anybody and they need help and they need somebody to come in and educate them. Like, here's what you want. Here's the products.
Yeah,
Here's
but
what
I
they
can't
do.
imagine you have the time for that.
I don't. But if it's a friend, I always try to make it happen.
Oh, I
Like,
guess I understand that.
yeah, but I still try to explain to them. I'm like, well, that's not really what I do.
Yeah.
But I never want to tell them no because I always feel like they don't know what they need. And it's just another audience of women that I can educate and help them know their bodies or know what they want or what they need or what they think they need or what they need that they don't know that they need. So I always like
Do you
take
have
it.
like a certain quiz questionnaire?
Are you an innie or an outie? Do you prefer external stimulation or internal stimulation?
I don't I need external, but I like both.
Okay, so you like both.
Yeah.
So then like a rabbit vibrator would be perfect for you, like any style. So rabbit vibrator would be the insertion plus the little clitoral
But see, I
stimulators.
don't like the that little thing just is too much.
Okay, so
But
you're
I
very
use what
sensitive.
I use, like mine, you gotta, man, it's got a plug in. This bad
Okay,
boy.
so you like the deep rumble, you don't like the high intense.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
you don't
I
like the
need that
humming, you like
because
the
I don't
rumble,
even put it on. Like I put it
uh,
above
which
because
is
it's
what you're supposed to do.
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, then, oh, wait, I didn't even read the instructions.
I don't think it has instructions
I
like
don't
that.
think so. But I like the more the rumble like
Yeah.
that instead of the this one shoots me through the roof. That's awful.
Well, these days they've manufactured them so that you can go to that low intensity. So it's a low rumble, or you can make it go high and have like the shrill, like, high intense vibration. But it's fun. I enjoy that part of it. I enjoy speaking to people about it and being on this side of things. Almost everybody I work with, it's been there, done that. I know, I've seen it. I know how everything works. So you have to take them something that is just a little more innovative or a new color or a new design or a new packaging, but it all basically does the same thing. So it's not that it's not exciting because it is, because as you've seen, dealing with people in our industry, they're so kind and fun. Just like so many people are willing to like open their office, "Come in, let's talk," and give
Yeah.
you the opportunity, and I love that, but there is nothing more exciting than going to a store or actually doing a home party for friends and being able to speak to a room full of people that this is all new and exciting. It's so much fun,
Yeah.
and it gives us, like, so much to talk about and, you know
So aside from you asked me about the internal, external, so and I like the both. So what would you recommend? Or is there another question that you
typically,
asked?
internal, external is a way to start guiding somebody through what they need. And so immediately I would tell you that you want a wand, and there's so many fantastic wands on the market
It's
today.
true. It's true.
Yeah. And you don't need something that plugs in anymore because it all is rechargeable and the power. And now, like before, to get the really intense rumble that you like, you'd have to get one that's like this tall. And everybody's like, oh, it's huge. But really, you're just using like that much of it because it's external.
Yeah.
But the handle and everything, the power was
Oh,
like,
yeah. It's
but
plugged in. Plugged
now
in right now.
recently they're like this big and so powerful and not that high pitched vibration. It's that rumble. It's amazing.
I saw when we were in Vegas at the show, and oh my goodness, her name was Angela. Angela, if you're watching this, I was supposed to contact her about this was perfect. Pink weed vibrator wand.
Nice.
Like, it was wonderful. And I told her my story, and she was like, "You have got to have this." Like, great. I will do wonderful review. Like, that was
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Everything I love: sex, drugs, the color pink.
In a deep rumble.
Yes.
I I'm excited. We have to go through a bunch of catalogs. There was a recent show and it was factories that make all these products. And I've designed something and it is an intense bullet vibrator with a remote, 20 functions, rechargeable, has a memory, and it is extremely powerful. And then recently there was a trade show with the factories that create everything. So you've got every designer from all over the world and they come and they present their products. So we have all these catalogs we have to go through. And my business partner, he's the one like, I'll go and I'll find the business, I'll find the products, I'll like do all the research for that. And then I come to him. And for me, I feel like I come to him with a mess. Like, here's all the stuff I found, and these are all wonderful. Can you make it look good? And he'll go through them, put them all
And
in like
make
a
it look
catalog.
good.
Yeah. So once he puts these in a catalog and cleans up my beautiful organized mess, then I'd love to go over products with you, and you can tell me like,
Oh, yeah, I'd love
yes, I
that.
like this. No, I don't like this. And how do you feel about one day doing product reviews, like new products, and we'll have like another episode where we only talk about
I feel like
products.
that's a whole series in of itself.
Yes, good. I agree. Then let's plan on doing that.
Yeah, everybody likes sex toys.
Well,
All kinds
almost
of
everybody.
novelties. Well, that's true. I didn't used to.
I love the husband's like, my wife doesn't need that. I'm like, well, that's not what she told me. She wants it.
Oh my gosh. That what the ego.
I think sometimes it's ignorance, and then like that's a communication gap because
Yeah,
most of the time,
but
once
it's
they talk
ego.
about it, yeah, it's good. Well, this was a lot of fun.
Yes, my dear.
Thank
Yes,
you for joining us today.
it was a wonderful second episode.
Yes, it was. I cannot wait for more.
Yes. So, if you had a good time talking with us today or listening to us today, please like and subscribe. Hit the link down below. I'm so
Follow.
excited I'm doing this right.
You're amazing.
Okay, so the next time I won't point out that I'm doing it right.
No, do. It's even better. Well,
So I hope everybody has a good night and that you had a good time. So,
thank you so much for participating in this fun with us.
all
We'll see
right.
you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.